and it's like you get this adrenaline rush. Like you really do. Like I woke up really tired this morning. I went to the Mets game last night, so I got home late and just felt like garbage. But as soon as like I set up, I start doing tests and I see you on, I start recording. It's just like, bam, I'm locked in. I'm good to go. It's just this constant energy and flow. It's I can't stop. And when I'm done, I just gotta kind of sit on my couch and go, oh, I just take a deep breath. So like how is it for you? Like, what is the feeling you get when you're on the mic? Like, do you like to be more prepared, or do you like to kind of just go off the cuff and just feel the energy of your co-host and just bounce back and forth? Because I understand for both. Like my wrestling podcast, I don't prepare for anything. I just watch wrestling. I just watch the product, and I get on, and I just say whatever comes to my mind. Whereas this podcast, I do a lot more research, but also, like, I have a list of questions here for you. I was like, you know what? Skip. Let's just talk. Yeah. So and so you got to be prepared to do that as a host. So which do you prefer?
Yeah, so I think it depends on the type of podcast you're doing. If it's an interviewing podcast, you need to come prepared with questions. Obviously, you need to do a ton of research if you're not too familiar with the person you're interviewing, as I'm sure you know. But then if it's more just like for my podcast, Collegiate Chaos, a discussion-based podcast, like I'm doing a ton of research and I'm coming prepared because we're talking about all these like relevant sports topics. I want to know the facts, statistics, how, like, if I'm not just coming out with some random opinion, I'm forming that opinion based on everything that I've watched and I've learned and I've read and I know. Yeah. So I'm coming prepared, and I'm not writing down what I'm saying. No one ever does that, but it's just like, all right, here's a point I want to hit in like a couple words, and then I'll expand on that point. But like you said, like it's just fun, just talking in the moment, like whatever else is going on when you're podcasting, when you're just talking, it's just fun. I mean, this podcast, I wasn't exactly prepared or vetted. Like, I mean, I had an idea what we were going to talk about, but I didn't have a list of questions before. But like you said, you threw out your questions and we're just talking.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that much, honestly. I was like, it's like, here's what I'm looking for. I want to talk to you about your podcast, about your school. Cause like, and as a business owner, I'm looking for people to partner with. Yeah. And the school aspect of college students doing this podcast network, it's just like, that's exactly the kind of people I'm looking for and exactly the kind of people I want to talk to. So like, I listened to your podcast. I checked you out and checked out your website and all that stuff and kind of get a general idea. But after that, it's like, okay, I'm just going to feel it in the moment and see how we go. And I have questions I can go back to just in case we get off track. So with that being said, once you graduate and the Collegiate Chaos is done, you don't have access to it anymore. What's next? What's the next podcast you're going to do?
It's a great question. I mean, hopefully that I get hired.
Yeah, he's right. It is a great question, and that's why I asked it. That's also why I cut it off right there, so you can go down below, hit that button, and get the full video interview on the YouTube channel, or head over to ambiguouspodcastsolutions.com and find the full podcast, or anywhere podcasts can be found. The full interview is up right now. Not now, but literally right now. So go do it. Enjoy it. He has a great answer, by the way. He actually knows exactly what he's going to do. Sam, very smart kid. Shout out to Sam, by the way. Thanks for being on the podcast. If you want to be on the podcast, Will at apspodcast.com. Shoot me an email with a link to your podcast and why you want to be on. And we'll do it. I promise. If you make me go, ooh. If you make me interested, you're going to make me go, ooh. You're on the podcast. Congratulations. Do it right now. Not now, but right now.